Hello, welcome back to the Statman Dave's Clips channel. Yes, the Statman Dave Clips channel, brand new channel. Make sure, of course, to subscribe to this channel if you're not. Maybe you subscribe to the Statman Dave channel, I do not know. But anyway, guys, we're going to be going through my Premier League team of the season. It's a good one. It's balanced. It could win the Premier League. This is going to be a banger. But before you dive into it, I want you to jump into the comments below and put your team of the season. Anyway, guys, I'm Statman Dave. Let's get this party started. With the Premier League coming to an end, we're going to go through my 11. We're going to talk formation. We're going to look through all the players that I feel should be in the team of the season. Starting, of course, in goal. I think one man has kind of shone above everybody else in terms of improving how goalkeepers play football in the Premier League, and that is Ederson. A massive 19 clean sheets on his way to picking up the Golden Glove and, of course, the Premier League Winners' Medal. I think the big thing with Ederson is his ability in and around the box, joining in as a third centre-half, sweeping up behind the City backline. It's honestly like having an extra player, Ederson. We've seen so many of those balls that he's played this season out from the back, over the top. Remember that ball in the Champions League? Of course, we're focusing Premier League, but that was just an example to Zinchenko. We've seen him play them for Aguero, play them for Gabriel Jesus over the top, for Phil Foden. What a player Ederson is in goal. Overperformed his expected goals against, post-shot expected goals as well. Conceded 2 fewer goals than expected, whilst adding that top quality ball playing ability as an auxiliary centre-half. I think other players to mention here, we've got to talk about Areola as well, the best post-shot expected goals in the league, which I think, is definitely something to mention in a sense, and definitely something to look at. 7.6 post-shot expected goals plus, so he saved 7.6 goals for Fulham this season. And Emi Martinez as well is definitely a standout with a post-shot expected goals of plus 7.4. In terms of looking at other goalkeeping metrics, just standard ones in terms of save percentage, Emi Martinez and Nick Pope and Hugo Lloris make the top 3. So that's kind of one player, one position. I definitely believe Ederson's number 1, but Emi Martinez has been fantastic. And question marks, why Arsenal let Emi Martinez go? I do not understand that move. But Ederson, definitely number 1 as a goalkeeper. Moving forward to, of course, the full-back position. A little bit of a difficult one. I think there's been a few full-backs through the year that have been the best in the league at certain points. But I think we've got to talk about João Cancelo and the revolutionary way that he's played fullback this season. Moving from that wide area into midfield, creating that base for City, that 3-2-5 shape. He's been so good. And we're looking at City in terms of statistics. He is second in the squad for passes into the penalty area per 90. Only KDB is ahead of him. Of course, we mentioned the role, but he does his defensive work as well. In terms of he's topped the charts for tackles plus interceptions this year, winning the ball back. But it's all about that ability to be an extra midfielder, get involved in the play and kind of push City forward. Rodri and João Cancelo as that midfield base at times in the league looks absolutely fantastic, allowing Ilkay Gundogan to play a little bit higher with the likes of KDB and the rest of them. But, revolutionary this season, whether it's been playing right back or playing left back, João Cancelo has been absolutely brilliant. So we're going to throw him in at right back. Obviously, other names we have to mention. Trent Alexander-Arnold. What an end to the season Trent Alexander-Arnold has had. Remains in the 99th percentile for expected assists and progressive passes for fullbacks. But also finishes the campaign with 7 assists. It's pretty decent. Only Aaron Cresswell managed more in the Premier League. I think in recent weeks, he's been absolutely fantastic with the ball at his feet. Really helped Liverpool dictate attacks. But I think with João Cancelo, with the evolution of the role, it probably is going to go ahead. In terms of the centre-halves, one is absolutely simple. We could potentially put 2 City lads in, to be fair. We could easily throw in John Stones and Diaz together, because they've been absolutely fantastic together. In a sense, the best pairing in the league. And City have conceded, this season City conceded a measly 31 XG against, 10 better than any other club. And big credit to there for Diaz and for John Stones' partnership. But I believe one man needs to go in there ahead of him, just because of his impact in the Premier League. Already coming into the Premier League, already making a massive impact, and that is Wesley Fofana. So we're going to throw Wesley Fofana as not only the starting centre-back in our team of the season, but as well the best young player in the Premier League this season. I think that's a big thing to say as well. Wesley Fofana for Leicester City has been absolutely brilliant. And when we're looking at them as a team and how they've improved, Fofana's definitely one that absolutely stands out like a sore thumb. Previously, we've kind of looked at his stats, and when you look at his stats versus centre-halves in Europe's top 5 leagues, he's ranked in the 90th percentile for tackles, 87th for interceptions, 90th percentile in terms of aerial duels won, and 94th for progressive carries. A massive part of Brendan Rodgers' team and their ability to play out from the back. So we're going to throw him in right there. In terms of fullbacks, left fullbacks, I think Luke Shaw's been the standout of the season. At left back, I think Luca Dean's worth mentioning for Everton. Again, loads of assists. Aaron Cresswell, as we previously said, 8 assists in the Premier League this season. A lot of play from fullback in terms of getting those set pieces into the penalty area. But Luke Shaw has been the best fullback in the league. We're looking at Manchester United. He's had his breakout season by a mile. I think this one is the one. A key player in the side due to his dribbles into the final third, his carries into final third, but also his passing. In terms of defenders, only Trent Alexander-Arnold created more chances than Luke Shaw this season. He is definitely into the team. So guys, I've selected my team. We're going to play a midfield diamond. And I think Rodri has got to go as the holding midfielder. I think he's been the standout holding midfielder in the league again. Second for passes into the final third. And in terms of the ability to play to pressure, 38%, playing through that pressure. And I think the big thing with Rodri, with João Cancelo, creating that kind of 3-2-5 shape. Rodri and Cancelo have been fantastic together in this double pivot at times, but Rodri's really improved and really impressed me. The best thing for Rodri, he's played more switches of play than any of the City player, and it's that switch from the left-hand side out to the right-hand side. Isolate Riyad Mahrez 1v1. You've got a goal. Great goal against Wolves this season from that method. So Rodri's going to be anchoring our midfield. I think it's a difficult position now to throw players in, but I think one guy slips into left central midfield, and that is Mason Mount. Before we do that, though, Declan Rice, Højbjerg, and Ndidi also been great at defensive midfield, but I think Rodri gets it with his playmaking just around that point off. Mason Mount, the most creative Englishman in the division by the key metrics, been very important contributor to Chelsea with and without the ball, and slightly unlucky to not have more assists. His XA is better than the league's top assister, Harry Kane, and Mason Mount has been the heartbeat. Leads Chelsea for touches, for chances created, shot creating actions, passes into the final third, second for tackles plus interceptions. What a season he has had. Lovely, lovely stuff. Partnering him in central midfield, Ilkay Gundogan, Man City's top scorer, arguably should have been player of the season. 13 goals in the league alone. Really carried City when Kevin De Bruyne was out. And I believe that he should have been player of the year. I think he's shown that he can play 10 at times, he can play 6 at times, he can play 8 and do it to such a standard. Ilkay Gundogan, arguably back to his Borussia Dortmund days. An unbelievable show of ball playing and goal scoring from central midfield. On to number 10. Simple tap-in, Bruno Fernandes. What a year he's had. Directly involved in 30 Premier League goals. When you look at players that have impact for sides, that is massive for Manchester United. He's created more than any other player in the league. He's got the highest expected assists in the league. Has scored 18 goals. He's the third top scorer in the league from midfield, which is absolutely incredible. I think his determination and his drive has taken Man United to another level. So Bruno Fernandes, definitely a player that we've got to look at. In terms of our setup, of course, we spoke about Declan Rice. He could have been there in defensive midfield instead of Rodri. Other players that we could have thrown into midfield. Phil Foden, maybe, if he'd played the second half of the season as well as the first half of the season. I think there was limited minutes in the first half of the season, but more minutes in the second half of the season. Performance against Liverpool in the Premier League, one of the best of the season. But I think Mason Mount's consistency gets him in there. Also with Jack Grealish, would 100% be in this team if he didn't get injured. I think the minutes that he played and in the missing the 2 months of the season, cut himself out. But 6 goals, 12 assists, great season for him. We've got to throw in Bruno Fernandes though, because he has been the form player. On to the attackers. Our right-sided forward is going to be Mohamed Salah. Great year. He's had 22 league goals, double that of any of his teammates. I think Liverpool have struggled this year. Salah hasn't struggled in a sense of he's still bagged the goals that we expect him to do. And I think if Liverpool could have provided him with more chances, I think Liverpool would do a lot better. I think that's been a little bit of their problem this season in terms of their ball playing. But Salah, absolutely fantastic. Big shout out to Riyad Mahrez as well. He's had a great season in terms of creating, scoring goals, isolating players 1v1. But I think Champions League, Riyad Mahrez has arguably been better. Similar with Phil Foden. I think both of those players have been better in the Champions League. But Salah gets the nod. And then finally, the best player in the league this season, top scorer, top assister, Harry Kane. The first player since Andy Cole to be the top scorer and top assister in the same season. Only Lionel Messi and Robert Lewandowski have been directly involved in more goals than Harry Kane. I think we could look at throwing Rashford maybe in as that right-sided forward. Underrated season for Marcus Rashford. Over 20 goals plus assists again. But Harry Kane is the absolute standout. And probably the player of the season along with Ilkay Gundogan for me. Lovely, lovely stuff. That is the game, guys. That is the game. That is our team of the season. 4-4-2 diamond. We've got a lot of width. We've got a lot of creativity. And we've got goals up front. Let's get it, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button and smash likes. Get in the comments. Your team of the season. All that good stuff. And then we will see you next time. Goodbye.